outline view is the one that you see the first time that you open up Sheet Planner, and there's a lot you can do from this view. First, let's look at the difference between selecting and editing. When you click on a cell in the outline view, you select it. Once you select a cell, you can move it around by dragging it to a new row location, or by using the grab handle in the cell on the far left of the row, or you can use one of the menu options by hovering over the row number, clicking the menu arrow, and selecting from the available options. You can do a lot from this menu, like link to a website or file, select all child or sibling rows, and duplicate or delete the selected row. If you click on the cell again, you switch to edit mode, and this allows you to add or change the values in the currently selected cell for that row. There are a bunch of options available inside the contextual menu as well. You can access the contextual menu by right-clicking on a cell and then selecting from the available options. Many of the same options in the row menu are accessible this way, like editing notes and links, and expanding or collapsing rows. You can also create a filter based on the cell value, which instantly opens up a new filter with criteria set to match the value for the row. We cover the specifics of using filters in another video, so for now, just understand that you can quickly create a filter this way by using this contextual menu. Next, let's take a look at indenting and outdenting. Indenting and outdenting affect the nesting level of the currently selected row and their respective places within the outline. By indenting a row or topic, you move it inside the parent row or the topic above it. To indent a row, select it and click the Indent button in the toolbar, select Indent from the Organize menu, or use the keyboard shortcut Command right bracket. To outdent, click the Outdent button, select Outdent from the Organize menu, or use the keyboard shortcut Command left bracket. You can also expand and collapse rows in the outline view. This helps you keep your outline view a little bit more organized so you can see the right information. Expanding a row will show all of the rows that are nested inside of it, and collapsing it will fold all of these child rows back inside. To expand a row, click the arrow next to the topic title, select it and click the Expand button in the toolbar, select Expand Row from the View menu, or use the keyboard shortcut Command 9. To collapse a row, click the arrow next to the topic title again, select it and click the Collapse button in the toolbar, select Collapse Row from the View menu, or use the keyboard shortcut Command 0. You can expand all the rows in the entire sheet by clicking the Expand All button, selecting Expand All from the View menu, or using the keyboard shortcut Control Command 9. Likewise, you can also collapse everything if you want to keep things neat and tidy by clicking the Collapse All button, selecting Collapse All from the View menu, or using the keyboard shortcut Control Command 0. You can also easily add or move rows from within the outline view. To add a new row below the currently selected row, just hit the Return key. This will add a new row after the currently selected row. You can also add a new row by selecting Add Row After from the Organize menu, or clicking the menu arrow next to the Add button in the toolbar. To add a row before the currently selected row instead, hold Shift when you hit the Return key, select Add Row Before from the Organize menu, or select that option from the toolbar. You can also add rows before or after a row directly from the drag handle at the left side of the row when you hover over the row number. If you want to move the row, grab the drag handle instead and drag the row into the right location. You can position the row above or below a specific row, or you can drag it on top of a row to nest it inside. You can also use the focus mode to limit what's visible in the outline view. This allows you to focus only on the selected row and any rows nested inside of it, hiding the rest of the rows in your sheet so you don't get distracted. This can be helpful when you want to focus on a particular part of a sheet or project, but don't need to see everything at once. To activate focus mode, click the focus button in the toolbar, select Focus from the View menu, or use the keyboard shortcut Shift-Command-F. If you use Control-Shift-Command-F, focus mode will open in a new tab next to your current view. You can see the breadcrumb trail for your focus mode in the topic column header, and when you're done using focus mode, click the X in the column to leave focus mode and return to the normal view. You can also apply a filter for the type of tasks that are displayed in your sheet. By default, the outline view is set to Show Completed, which is going to display all of the tasks in the contents of your sheet, regardless of whether they are completed or when they were completed. But there are a couple of other options you can choose from here as well. You can select Show Completed Today from the toolbar, or go to View Completed Rows, Show Completed Today, which will hide the tasks that were completed prior to today, but will still show you the tasks that were completed today along with all your uncompleted tasks. You can also choose Hide Completed, which hides all of the completed tasks, showing you just the uncompleted tasks in your outline view. This can be handy when you only want to see what's left to be done for a project, as it hides everything else that has already been completed, regardless of when it was done. You can also use tabs to view multiple sheets or different views of the same sheet. When you have multiple tabs showing different views of the same sheet, the changes that you make in one will be saved to the sheet itself and instantly show up in the other views as well. One example of this is using focus mode in a new tab. So right-click on a row to open the contextual menu and then select Focus, Focus in New Tab. The focus mode opens in a new tab to the right of the current view. If you switch over to the other tab and add something to what's in the focus mode, it will instantly be updated in the main outline view when we switch back to that view. You can even open up other sheets from your library in additional tabs, allowing you to view information from several sources, just like having several websites open in your web browser. You can also add notes to your rows. Notes can include additional reference information that you may need later, or a link to a specific file on your Mac or a website. By attaching a note to the topic, you make sure that you can get to it quickly when you need it. To add a note to a topic, select Edit Note from the Edit menu or use the keyboard shortcut Command''. Then type out your note below the topic in your outline view. To view your notes in a separate tab, right-click on the topic and select Notes and Links, Show Note in New Tab. This opens a new tab with a rich text editor that you can use to edit the contents of your note. In addition to text notes, you can also attach links to a topic. You can link either to a URL for a website or to a file on your Mac. To link to a file on your Mac, right-click on the topic and select Notes and Links, Link to File from the contextual menu, or select Link to File from the Edit menu. Navigate to the file that you want to link to, and then click the Open button. This can be handy if you want to attach an image to an item in your outline view, or if you want to link to a presentation file, for example, that you're working on. The file will be displayed below the topic title, but the file isn't actually embedded in your sheet. This makes your sheet planner file sizes smaller by not creating duplicate copies of your files, but you can still access those files by clicking on them and selecting Quick Look or Open in Preview. You can also add web URLs to notes. The process is very similar to adding files. You simply right-click and select Notes and Links, Link to Website, or select Link to Website from the Edit menu. Then add the URL for the website that you want to link to. You can include links to files, websites, and text notes in the same topic, and you can open all of the linked information by right-clicking on the topic and selecting Notes and Links, Show Row Links in New Tab. This will open a new tab and will list all of your included links on the left, and you can switch between them by clicking on them. The last thing you need to be aware of in the outline view is the inspector. The inspector is on the right side of the Sheet Planner interface and can be toggled on and off by clicking the inspector button in the toolbar, by selecting Show or Hide Inspector from the View menu, or with the keyboard shortcut Option-Command-I. The content displayed in the inspector is dynamic, displaying different information whether you have a cell, row, or column selected. Depending on what is selected, you may be able to customize the values or settings for the cell, row, or column. If you have a single cell selected and you change the value in the column section, it changes the settings for the entire column. For example, if you change the option for the completed tasks from checkbox to pie, it will change the options for everything in that column. You can change additional options for the column if you select the column from the outline view, but we'll cover those options in the custom columns video. Under the row section, you can change the values for the associated columns for the row, including the name of the topic, the start, finish, and completed dates, the progress percentage, and the duration. Any changes that you make here will show up in the other views as well. The inspector will also show you any predecessors or successors, indicating the tasks that need to be completed before or after the one in the selected row. You can also change the style options for all rows on the same level, all cells in the currently selected row, or only the selected cell. You can change the style for multiple cells at once by manually selecting multiple cells. For example, by clicking on a column header to select the entire column. You can customize the font family, font size, font weight, and color by selecting the options that you want here in the inspector. Lastly, there are a couple of options here for customizing the entire outline view. You can choose from a couple of different themes and choose whether you want to carry forward finish dates in the outline view. If selected, this option will roll finish dates of incomplete rows forward.